Ahead and start in 15 seconds. Well, good morning, everyone. It's nice to see so many members of the press here today with us this afternoon. We don't always get as much love from you guys, so thank you for coming. We will go ahead and start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So just to be clear for anyone who might be watching today, that we have Commissioners Barth and Commissioner Heiberger with us today on teleconference, and just part of our effort to continue to practice proper social distancing guidelines, they've agreed to attend via telephone conference today, which I appreciate. We have one item on the agenda today. In our commission meeting on Tuesday, we agreed to set this emergency meeting today so that we could react to facts and data and science that became available to us this week and have an opportunity to take any action that seems appropriate based on that information. And to that end, I would go ahead and invite Jason Gearman forward, our Director of Emergency Management, to update us on the most recent information to date. Good morning.
Jason Gearman, Minnehaha County Emergency Management. As most of you know, I've been stationed at the Emergency Operations Center for the past week and a half or so. That entails public health from Sioux Falls, other Sioux Falls agencies, the hospitals, law enforcement, and fire. We did have some positive news today out of the healthcare people in town that they're sitting really well right now. There wasn't a big surge as of yet, and their supplies are good at this time. You know, obviously that could change pretty quickly. As you know, there's Minnehaha has 18 cases as of now. We're expected to get more. Last night, late yesterday afternoon and last night, deputies went around to different areas of the county and checked on some businesses just to see what the traffic was. There was many that were closed. There was some abiding by the governor's rules, and there were some that were not, and that's kind of what's been happening everywhere. So what you guys are doing here today, I think, is a good thing that allows the city and the county to put that message out as one, to police yourselves. There's a lot of people out there that are doing a really good job of this, and I think we're at that point right now because of that. Things are going to get worse. Be patient. Stay home this weekend, and just keep practicing what we've been doing. I'll throw this out there. It seems to be working so far, but we're just not at that point yet to know. And the message to the county businesses, please take care of yourselves and do what's right. And that's what's kind of happening throughout the city. And don't be one of those bad apples that we have to deal with. So.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Jason? Appreciate all the work that you've been doing. I know you've been putting in long days, and you've done a great job of reporting out to us the data that's been provided and that you've been gathering down at the EOC. I've been able to hop on some calls this week and hear firsthand that huge team that's been assembled, who's also trying to social distance themselves now and do some work a little bit remotely, but still report in every day and exchange information. A lot of great things that are going on in our community, and people really working hard to help one another, and I appreciate you being our representative there.
And of course, there's going to be a rain event this weekend, and it doesn't sound like it's going to cause some difficulties and some flooding, but we'll hope that we'll stay in low-lying areas and farmland and et cetera. We're not expecting to have a major flood at this point, so thank you.
We can be thankful for that, for sure. So we hope the 1 to 3 inches comes in over many hours and not 1 hour. So, hi, Carol.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you, thank you. I've been saying this is so confusing to me to have a commission meeting in the afternoon. I am not attuned to doing it at this particular time. Commissioner Bender, I was just gonna follow that up with a few comments about the county, just as a reminder to everybody watching, if they haven't found it already, the buildings are locked up. If they're non-essential, the law enforcement, of course, is still open, Health and Human Services. You can get through after you've been screened. And remind people to go to the website and look for options that are out there as to how they can do business. And, because we don't want to slow anything down, there are options. I've been hearing from people that the mail is busy. That's good to go through and do.
As a reminder, the courthouse is open too. If people get confused sometimes, but to make sure that you know that the courthouse is open.
Yes, thank you. The courthouse is open. Right now, we've been having about 50 to 75 people that have been working remotely. We anticipate that number to increase next week. And just to note that a lot of our stuff is spent on, can I say, housekeeping items, some policies, some procedures, all the way down to payroll codes as to how we adjust them for Family First that has come out through the federal area. So there is housekeeping stuff that needs to get done behind the scenes in order to make this all work. So, but staff is doing great.
I'd like to thank you. Carol's been kind of leading our inside COVID response team, and we have a call every morning at bright and early at 8 a.m., and we do some problem solving and address issues that have been raised. This, as everybody knows, is a situation that changes by the hour, and so I've appreciated you leading that effort, and I think that that's really helped kind of implement a lot of changes and procedures really quickly, and things seem to have gone really quite smoothly.
Thank you. We are learning as we go, and I think everybody will be glad to turn the calendar on 2020 at the end of the year. You want to jump into the resolution?
Absolutely.
Before you today, Commissioners, you have one item in business today, which is a resolution to slow the community spread of COVID-19. The community spread has generated concern for the community spread of the virus and gatherings of people in retail establishments. You've had conversation about this off and on somewhat for at least 2 weeks, and on Tuesday, you directed to have a special meeting today and look at what we could do. Before you today is a resolution to address a public health crisis by recommending certain measures to slow the community spread of coronavirus and to declare an emergency. There's just a couple whereases, which I think we're all pretty much familiar with. I'm going to jump right into the therefore, because that's what's important for us. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Minnehaha County Board of Commissioners that any enclosed retail business within Minnehaha County, outside of the exterior boundaries of an incorporated municipality, that promotes public gatherings should modify business practices in order to ensure that not more than 10 patrons are on the premises for on-site use of the services and/or consumption of the goods at any given time. Such businesses are encouraged to consider utilizing business models that do not involve public gathering, including takeout, delivery, drive-through, curbside service, and off-site services. Be it further resolved that this resolution is deemed necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, and safety, and as an emergency measure, this resolution shall become immediately effective upon approval. I would share, as you go into discussion on that one, that the language there very much mirrors the city's ordinance, although ours is a resolution, difference between the two, but very much mirrors that with 10 patrons in enclosed facilities.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions from Carol? Commissioner Karski?
Comment, if I may.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We never want to appear to be fast and loose with people's rights and liberties, and at the same time, people are looking to the government at all levels to give them guidance and direction on what to do and what not to do. It's amazing what a resolution, the effect it has on people's opinions and what they're going to do. By us doing this today, it's going to have a very positive effect on where we want this to go as far as flattening the curve. So I'm glad to see we held this meeting today, and I'm very much in support of this resolution.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Commissioner Benega.
Well, I would agree with what Commissioner Karski said, and I appreciate the legal advice that we've gotten from staff. There are certain restrictions that we have as a county, but this is a really good step. I'm also happy to say that when I saw the numbers of the, let's say, the sheriff's visits last evening, there were very few that were not in code, so to speak. And I hope that continues. In fact, it should get better. And if they follow the resolution to the law, literally, we will have less problems, and we're very happy to have that happen voluntarily rather than being, quote, forced into some other activity.
Thank you. Commissioners Heiberger or Barth, I don't want to ignore you. Do either of you have any comments?
This is if you'd let me just say a few words. I really think that I'm really glad we're doing this. Every day we delay has made a negative difference. And, you know, what we've done before we can't do anything about. But going forward, this is the right thing to do. And I've been practicing social distancing, maybe not as good as I should, but I'm working on it. And, you know, this bug, this disease, only lives in people. You know, if it's not going to live in your on your driveway, it's not going to live in mosquitoes, it's not going to live in prairie dogs. This lives in people, and if we can keep people from getting ill, we can kill this disease, and that is our goal. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Heiberger?
Commissioner Heiberger here. Yep, just to chime in and say, one, I'm here, and then just a thank you to, you know, our staff and our community in Minnehaha County that have worked really hard, because I haven't been out for a while now. Last time I was out, there's hardly anybody on the streets, and people have listened, and I'm happy that we are doing a resolution just to put our stamp on it that we agree and this is the right thing to do, and to hopefully the last few people out there that are not in compliance will take it seriously and support the resolution too. So thank you.
Thank you. And I would agree. I was on a call today with a couple other Lincoln County commissioners and mayors in Lincoln County and in Minnehaha County. And given the way that this issue has been rolled out and authority has arguably been delegated by the governor, we end up with communities, counties trying to do or take some action based on the facts and data that they have. And we could end up with a hodgepodge, but the goal of that group in Minnehaha County and in Lincoln County is that we would have a cohesive plan that would affect the citizens of the entire region. And, you know, obviously every single governmental entity needs to act on their own. But I think it is very much in the best interest of the citizens of Minnehaha County, who are the people that we've been elected to represent, that we take these guidelines about social distancing seriously, along with all the other guidance about hygiene and cleaning and disinfecting, and put those into practice. And the data is showing, based on everything that I've been able to discern, that it is making a difference in South Dakota. It is making a difference in Minnehaha County, that we have flattened that curve. I think as the mayor said, Mayor Tenhaken said in our call today, unfortunately, we're probably only in mile 1 of our marathon here, and this is going to be a long process, and it's going to take some resolve and discipline by all of us to deal with the temptation that we all have for social interaction. But thankfully, this happened during the spring season, where we can be outside, we can talk to our neighbors at a distance, properly socially distanced from each other. We can utilize technology to great effect. And while I recognize that this resolution today does put some limits on some businesses, we are not shutting them down. We are encouraging them to innovate. We are encouraging our citizens to go get takeout. Support your local businesses, but do it in a safe and socially responsible manner. And for all of those reasons, I would be very much in favor of this resolution as well. Anything else? Commissioner Karski?
Yeah, question. The resolution is very open-ended. It doesn't give a time, so are we going to repeal this resolution when we feel the time is right?
That's a good point, and I think that that would probably be what we would need to do when this emergency measure is no longer needed. We'll repeal it.
Okay. I would make a motion to approve.
I would second that.
Motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Hiberger,
Aye.
Karski,
Aye.
Barth,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Bender.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. So that takes us to public comment. Is there anyone here who would like to speak? Commissioner Benega.
I'm not public probably, but I just want to say thank you to you because there's nobody up here besides maybe the two of us and Commissioner Barth and Commissioner Heiberger that appreciate your leadership and how much time and effort you put into this. I know you take calls daily with groups, your personal time, early morning, late evening has been occupied by all of this, including weekends, and we couldn't thank you enough.
Thank you. It's a total team effort, so I appreciate
Yeah.
that, though. Okay. Well, I think that takes us to the end of our meeting. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming.